analyze, right? Analyze the features as well. So that is question number 1. Question number 2, it's common problem. It is asking that define an array in assembly language. What does that mean? Define an array in assembly language. Anyone? What does it mean? Define an array.
So initiate array variable.
Yeah, that means you have to write the code to initiate or to define the array in assembly language. Most of you, what you did not write anything. You just write, let us assume the variable name or the array name is your name, and then you write. Although it is all of the things are copied from your source somewhere, from where you copy, but it is actually wrong. That means it is clearly asking that you have to define the array first, right? Where you have to store short integer. It is also clearly defined that you have to define an array which will store a short integer. That means you can see that these are the short integer, that is smaller number. What do you think? What does that mean? Remember, each of the character or each of the part of the question, they have some meaning and they have some, reason to write it. But most of the time you overlook it, because the problem is you don't look at the question. You just look at your group, whatever you have found the group, you just write copy paste. This is not the right way. Please remember one thing I have told you yesterday as well already, that after doing everything, still you got 30 or 40, 45, maximum 50. Remember, your pass mark is 70. So there is no point, there is no, no need. It is not actually really helpful for you to do this kind of cheating and copying and whatever you have done. After doing all this, you have to go 30, 40, 50. What is the point? No point, right? So please, we have another 2 chances, the final exam written and final exam viva. Use these 2 chances, try to learn something properly and write it properly so that you don't have any other problem. So whenever you have the question, I suggest you please read the question carefully. Read the question carefully, try to understand what is it asking for. Okay? Right, and then write the answer. So if we want to define this one array, how should I do that? The array definition, how we can define an array in assembly language. So I asked the same question in the Viva as well. So the same student, as I said earlier, the same student can answer this one, and they have written everything, like all the assembly language code to do all this. But whenever I ask that how to define an array, no answer. How on earth, if you don't know how to define an array, but you have written all the coding for this question? Doesn't match, right? So it doesn't really match. So it is very easy to find out whether you know it or whether you don't know it. Right. So how to define an array in assembly language?
First, we have to
by using times, right?
Yes, sir.
Times. So our format is first one should be the variable name or the array name. So let us see. Okay, another common mistake is you have done like this. You have written this student 1, student space 1, then times. All of you, 99% of you write in this way. There is another suspicious thing, that how come everyone is using the same variable? How come all of you actually did the same mistake, which is this? Look how we have written. Remember, these are assembly language. Every single character, every single thing is actually means something. All right, this is not like you're writing something on the paper. It is actually a code. So if you write student space 1 and then times actually doesn't mean anything. It will give you an error because you cannot write in this way. If you want to write student 1, you can write in this way or that way. You cannot write like this way. Wrong. Okay, so you can write this way, student 1, no problem. Then the times, the keyword, the number of
Elements.
array elements. Another funny thing, why every one of you write 9? Every one of you, 98%, 98 to 99%. 1 or 2 students write it differently, but those are because it shows that you have done it by yourself. But why every one of you write 9? Can you tell me, anyone? We have 44 students, 45 students, 42 or 43 students write 9. Why? I know why. You also know why. Anyway, so I'm not saying that 9 is wrong. I'm not saying that 9 is wrong. 9 is correct. How come everyone is writing 9? And generally, whenever we declare an array, whenever you declare array in C programming language, because every one of you have done C, have you ever declared an array with 9 elements? Ever? No, right? So you just write like 5, 10, 8, 15, 20, something like that, right? So it is better into that way as well. So you can see that our value, we have maximum 7. So you can write 7 as well, no problem. But A7, 5, 6 is actually not a good number. That's why generally we write 10. Safe. All right. So after that, the type of the defined directives, right? So that is another question. Most of you write this DT or DD. My question is why? The question has clearly written that to store a short integer number. And the question, you can see, it is also written very clearly that in decimal number, the value is 55, 65, and 245. That means maximum number is 245. How many bits you need to have? Bits you need to have to store this 245 or the short integer number. How many bits you have maximum?
8 bit.
8, right? So if we write dB, I think it would be enough, right?
So DB is enough.
dB is enough. Very good. Then why you have written dt? Remember one thing. You don't have unlimited resource. You are writing a very low-level language code where you declare, where you use directly the memory. So whenever you just need 1 byte to store this variable, why? What is the reason that you have declared dt, which allocate 10 bytes? What you are going to do with the other 9 bytes? Huh? Wastes, right? Same as dd. How many bytes we have in dd? Double word. 4, right?
4, sir.
Double word. 4. 2 words. That means 4 bytes. So again, same thing. Why you need 4 bytes? Whenever 1 byte is enough. Technically, you may say that, okay, technically it is correct. No problem. Yes, no problem. But it seems like whenever you write this, the coding in C programming, let's say you just need 2 or 3 elements and you declare 1,000 elements in an array. Do you think that it can be or it should be all right? No. So same as here as well. So whenever you need 1 byte, why you declare dt or dd? Some of you maybe from your section was asking that why I circle if they have written DT and I have circled it there and then put a question mark and write why. And they ask me again why I circle the DT. So I hope you have the answer that why I circle onto the DT. Hope you understand. Any question regarding this? And then the last one is the initial value. So it should be dB, because dB is enough to store 245 or short integer number, because it is clearly written here in the question. Fine. Any question, any confusion? So most of you have done 2 mistakes in just one line, 3 mistakes actually, just writing one line. Some of you did not read this one at all. Some of you write this one with this, with this mistake and also this mistake. It's actually a very serious mistake. Still, if you check your answer script, I gave you almost half marks, which you don't deserve. You deserve 0 actually. Still, you are asking me that why I give you less marks. Funny. Anyway, any question until now? Please remember, if you know the fact, if you do step by step, logically, then there will be no problem. Simple as that.
Sir, so 255 is, for 255, 1 byte is enough.
Yes. For 255, 1 byte is enough, because in 8 bits, we can have maximum, we can write maximum in decimal 255. If you just write 1111 in 8 bytes, so that is actually 255 in decimal. Right?
Yes, sir.
Any other question? Please, whenever you write the assembly language code, just try to remember that you are writing directly to the hardware and directly you are using the memory. So you don't have unlimited memory, you don't have unlimited register, you don't have unlimited processing power. You have very limited power, very limited resource, and you have to keep in mind whenever you write the assembly language code. Previously, whenever you do writing the high-level language, you actually don't care about anything. But whenever you write the low-level language, you have to care every little bit. That is the difference. Okay? And it is the right way. It is the right way to do your coding in low-level language. And whenever you do the professional coding, you also cannot do that. Now you're doing coding for just assignment or just do something else. But if you have experience to go to any contest, or if you do any online judging thing, if you submit your code, if you write this kind of code, they will never accept. Whenever you go for coding, any coding, whenever you go or do your coding for any purpose, let's say in the future you're doing coding, if you have a habit that you declare unnecessary array size, unnecessary memory allocation, obviously that code or that software or that coding will not work properly. So please, from now, make a habit that whatever you write the code, it should have a reason and should do accordingly. And it should be done that way everywhere you go. All right? So try to make that habit. It's a good habit that you should think about whatever you're writing, not just writing for no reason. All right, so that is the first one. Second thing, it is asking the store the foreign value in the mentioned position of the array and explain your code. Another problem is they actually overlook this one. Every other question, they actually read this one. Explain your code, explain your answer. But unfortunately, you have just written, most of you have just written either the code table and no explanation. Right, that is another mistake. So please don't do this mistake. I told you several times in the class that if you just write the code or if you just write the number or answer, it will not be enough. And I have written as well the last one. Please explain the code, explain your answer, but many of you did not do that. Okay. So after doing this one, what we need to do here? Common mistake, another common mistake. This is asking that we have to do in the third position. All right. So in the third position, let me show you. The common mistake is, let us consider this is our array. Right? It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our array. So now you tell me. Now you tell me that if we want to go to the third position, what we should do. Remember, it is dB. dB means each of it is actually 1 byte. If it is each of them, it is 1 byte. Right? How we can access to the third position? This is the third position. So we need third position. We need to go to the third position. We need to go to the fourth position. I need to go to the seventh position. These three positions we need to access to store this data. Right. Now tell me what we should do. Let's say we have move. What is it? Let's say EBX, comma, student. Oh, sorry, student. Let's say we have done this one. After that, what we should do? Add, right? So what we should add?
The 2.
EBX. Now the question is, common mistake. What we should write here? We are now here, EBX. We know that EBX, whenever you move to the EBX, the first value, it should now now the pointer is here. The value of EBX is now 0, but we want to go to here, which is in the third position. So 1 byte, 2 bytes. So how many things? How many bytes we need to add here?
So 2 bytes.
So we need to add the address, not the value of EBX.
Huh? Oh, sorry, yeah. The 2. So here is the common mistake. Most of you, because it is a third value, third position, most of you actually add 3. Because it is third, that's why you add 3. Whenever you have DD, what did you do here? 6, right? 6. No, most of you write DW actually, if it is 6. So you have written 6, all of you have written 6, except 2 or 3. You have written 6. And the interesting thing is, from where you actually copy your answer, somehow he or she written 6, but you have misunderstood and you write C. Right? Many of you. Maybe that was handwritten. He has written 6, but you have misreading that 6 and you blindly copy and write C. You didn't even think that what actually you are writing. In the very next line, you write again, add, what have you written? Add EBX from 8. I actually can memorize your answer as well. You write 8. How come you write C then in the first line? So it's actually should be not like that. whenever you have db. So we know that each of them is 1 byte. So if now the pointer is here, so if we move the pointer from the first position to the third position, we just need to cover 1 byte and 2 bytes. So we have to write 2 here, not 3. Then we have moved the value, the 55 is not a problem. Then again, we already are in another common mistake. We are already in the third position, right? Then why you write 8? Why you need to calculate from the beginning to access to the fourth position? All of you write 8. Why? Because we are already, our pointer is already here in the third position. Our pointer is not in the beginning. Our pointer is already in the third position. So if you want to go to the fourth position, how you need to add? What you need to add?
So only 1 byte.
Only 1 byte, correct? That means it should be 1. So if you have declared it as W, obviously you should write like 2, because it's a word. But instead of that, you have written 8, because you have your source, not you, from where you copy. He actually calculated from the very beginning, because 1, 2, 3, 4, that's why it's for 8. Please try to think logically, right? So it is very simple. It is not like very difficult to understand that, or difficult to do the task, to do the coding. It's not very complex code. We have so many complex code in this book, but we have avoided this one. I know, because many of you already have not done any course. So many things are new. Many of you, not all of you. So many things are new. We cannot cope up with it. This is an online class. We have so many reasons not to study properly. So that's why we actually avoid those kind of very complex coding. But this coding is super easy. It's like college level coding. It's not even like that much difficult. But you just need to little bit, attentive during the study, that what we are doing and what should we do to do this very simple one. So that is, now we are in the fourth position. So let's say we have also, I'm just writing the add because you already know how to move. So now we are in the fourth position here. We want to go to the 7th position here. Now you tell me what we should write here. Add?
So 3.
3, why?
So because there is so we are in 4th position and we have to go in 7th position.
We
so
are
3
in, yes, correct. We are in this position. We need to go this position, which is 7th, right? So how many, what is the difference? So now your pointer is here. So 1, 2, 3 bytes, because we are using dB. So each of them is 1 byte. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 byte, if you add 3 byte, then your pointer will be here in the 7th position. Very easy. You just need to write 3. Again, you did same mistake. You calculate it from the very beginning. That's why all of you write 8 is 14. So you have written, instead of writing 2, 1, 3, you have written 6, 8, 14. All of you. Most of you. That is the common mistake. So please, whenever you write the code, try to think. It is super easy, not that much difficult. You just need to do a little bit of attentive whenever you write the code and whenever you just try to solve it. Simple as that. Any question? Okay, if you write dB here, instead of dB, if you write dw, technically it is correct. But as I said, that you are writing as you cannot get 0 by, don't get 0, but you have to change this value as well. Instead of 2, you have to write 4, 2, and 6. So if you write in this way, technically that is also correct. But as I said, that whenever you write a semi-language code, you have to think about it, and the question is clearly mentioned short integer number. Huh? What is it? Oh, okay. So it is clearly written. It is clearly written that to store the short integer number. So obviously, it is instruction from the question that you should follow this instruction. So if you follow the instruction, you should have this coding. You should write in this way. That is question number 2. Any question or any problem or any confusion?
So it's raining here, sir. I cannot hear some of the points, sir. So if there will be DT, then what will be the coding, sir? Move add EBX 10 or add EBX 4. If we add DT.
Why you need to add DT here? What is the reason?
Suppose, we can add any bytes, sir.
Why we need? Okay, I hope you know that. What does it mean, DT, right? 10 bytes. Yes, 10 bytes, right? Yes, so, do you need 10 bytes to store these numbers?
No, sir.
Then why you need write DT? No reason.
I think that no, yes. So I think that if we define any define that it will be.
Why you okay? Did you read the question carefully? It is asking where you have to define an array. It is clearly written. Define an array where you have to store short integer number. It is clear instruction that you have to define an array in a way that you should store a short integer number. So if you don't, follow the instruction, if you write DT, so that is wrong, because the question is instructed you to define an array in that way that you should store the small number. Right. Right. So if you write DT, of course, it will be 20, 10, and 30, because each of the value is actually now 10 byte. Previously, it was dB, so each of the value here is only 1 byte. Now it is 10 byte. So instead of 2, 1, 3, it should be 20, 10, and 30. Right? Fine? Although it is unnecessary, but if you write in just in case, if you write this one, then that will be the case. Fine? Any other question? Think about it, please. I know that you still have some confusion about this one. I know 100% of you still don't understand, although we have practiced in the class before the exam several times. You have also done as well, but still you have some problem. So please tell me that if you still have any problem. If you don't have problem, then we go to question number 3. You can expect similar type of question in the final exam as well. Whatever the question you can see here, you can expect some of them. Some of them, similar type of question you can expect from this midterm. Okay, so it is better that we have a very, very good idea, clear idea about all the matters we have just discussed here, because if you do the same mistake again, you cannot expect. You might thinking that, okay, I have written DB and it is correct, and why I got the bad result. Most of you think in this way. Then my final exam was very good. I have written 100 of 100. Why I have got this result?
Sir, our biggest mistake is that we are increasing the numbers, sir, array of number, adding the numbers.
Yeah, what is the mistake?
Sir, that is, we are adding the numbers, sir. Like 10, 20, 30, these are from this mistake, sir.
Exactly. That is one of the problem, adding the number. Another problem is defining this one. You're defining unnecessary DT or DD or something else, which is also not appropriate. I am not saying that it is wrong, but it's inappropriate. I said again that it is technically correct, but it is not efficient, it is not appropriate. It's like you need 5 array in the C coding, but you have declared 1,000 array, 1,000 number of array, or 100 numbers of array, unnecessary. And I told you that those are high-level language, these are low-level language. We have to be very, very careful. Okay, and it is actually a bad habit that we write a code without considering anything. But we need to change our habit. We need to write code according to the instruction and according to the requirements, and not according to our desire. Not according to your desire, right?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
the main thing is that, sir, we made a questions that was that we are not thinking a bit about of the questions, sir, and didn't get the enough time, sir, to think and write, sir. It is like that we are if we read like I mean that all the time you read that you should containing your you should write your answers according to your marks or the points of the numbers. We can finish your task, sir. But in exam time, it's hard to be writing your questions. We didn't get enough thinking of the questions, and we didn't get enough time. That actually, the time management we have mistake for us.
Yeah. Another problem. You're right. Your time management is a problem. Another problem. Another problem is how many times did you practice before the exam? This kind of problem before the exam at home. How many times?
Sir, two, sir.
Huh?
In my case, two, sir.
2 times. How you can expect just practicing 2 times? You can do it in the exam when you have a very very tense situation. You have very short time, so many things happening. How you can expect that by practicing 2 times that you can do it within very short time? That is the problem. We don't practice.
Lacking of practice, sir.
Yes, we don't practice enough at home before the exam. We just thinking that, okay, now I know this, I can see this, I watching this is so easy, doesn't matter, I can do it in the exam. Yes, you can do it exam, but if you practice at home several times, wherever in the exam you have spent 10 minutes to do that. But if you practice it 10 times before the exam, you will need 2 minutes to do that. That is the difference. That is the difference. That's why we need to practice. That's why all the players actually practice. Otherwise Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, they don't need to practice. They just come and then start playing. Tell me why. Whenever Mr. Messi comes from Barcelona to the PSG, right? Still he is not in the match. Why? Tell me why. Why?
So to adapt the formation and to get it up with the team.
The environment.
Of course. Lionel Messi is one of the best player. It doesn't, if he thinks like you, that he will not, do any practice. Okay, I'm the best player. I don't need any practice. Okay, let's play. Not like that. No one. They practice several times. Now it is almost more than 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Just to start the play, he needs to practice with his teammates 2 to 3 weeks, 3 weeks time. And then whenever he feels that, okay, now I'm ready, then he actually go to the play. And that's why his goals are so easy to see. It seems like, oh, it is so easy. If I just kick the ball, it goes to the corner of the post. Not that easy. He did it 1,000 times, 10,000 times during the practice, which we don't see. We just see that, okay, he just do the dribbling and shot it and the goal. So easy. Not like that. Same as yours. It seems like it is so easy. Okay, I listen this one, no problem, I can do that. No, you cannot do that. You have to practice a lot. You have to practice a lot again and again and again. And only then in the very short time in the exam and in the very tense situation in the exam, then you can do it properly. That is the reason. That's why you cannot manage your time properly. So I told you several times that please practice at home. We have practiced maybe during the class 1 time or 2 times just to show you how to do that. But your responsibility is whenever the exam is approaching, you should do the practice, similar kind of practice. Just change the value and do the practice 5 times, 10 times so that you can do it. Okay, I can do it within 2-3 minutes, whatever it is, because the question will be similar type. All right. So it is the problem of our habit or our approach. So if you change the approach, it is super easy. I hope you understand. So let us.
Sir, question number 5, sir.
Let us go to question number 3 first, please.
Time is less, sir.
One by one. Yeah. Now we have done. Let us just read this one. So that is question number 2. Let us go to question number 3. Another common mistake. So it is asking that create the symbol table according to the following data definition statement of assembly language. Explain your answer. Again, explain your answer. So it's asking to create a table, symbol table, according to this following code. So we have some code. So we need to build our assembly language. Let us just have okay. Just for our convenience, we just make a table. Right. So obviously our first one will be marks. Marks. So when the marks will start? 0, right?
Yes, sir.
0,
Yes,
no
sir.
problem. Next one is character 1. So now the character 1, where we should start? So we should calculate that the marks is DW, right? So that means if you think about this, this is the memory location. If the marks is DW, so if we start from here, so 0, so 0, W means word, right? Word means 2 byte. 2 byte means this one and this one, right?
Yes.
So when the next variable, the character 1 will start from here, right? So if we start from here, the answer will be 2. Value? 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
After that, the next one is total. Total what? Total 1. Okay. So to total 1, so the previous variable character was starting from this position and it is DB type. All right, DB type. That means how many bytes we have?
1 byte.
And it is just 7-9 hexadecimal, and we know that 7-9 hexadecimal requires only 1 byte, that is 8 bit. Each of the character in hexadecimal number, we need just 4 bits. 4 bits and 4 bits, 8 bytes. So sorry, 8 bit. So we need just 1 byte. So if the variable just occupy 1 byte, so the next variable will start from the next position. So what will be the value of total 1?
3.
3. Simple. Next one is the message. What is it? Message. No. Okay, message. What is it? It is in the. Oh, I'm sorry. So what is it? It is in the. Oh, so message. So before we explain about the message, we need to think about the previous one. What is it? It is in the total. So total was starting from here. So now the question is how long the total is actually occupied. We can see that the total variable here is actually an array. And we also can see that we have 30 elements we have, and each of the elements is DQ type. What does it mean, DQ?
8 byte. Quad word.
It is quad word, right? Quad word means 8 bytes, right?
Yes, sir.
So 8 byte, that means each of the elements is 8 byte. So how many elements we have? 30. So 30 times 8, what will be the answer?
240.
240. That means this one is actually required 240 byte. So previously we have from here from 3. So what will be the next one, which is the message? We'll start from
243.
243. 243, right? Because
Yes.
we are actually covering 240 here. So it will be 240 plus the previous one is 3, so 243. So now, very good. The next one is the name variable. So let us see. So the message variable, which was started from 243, how long it will actually cover. So we can see, let's zoom it. Look, the message variable, it is DB type. And we know that it is a multiple definition. If you can remember, this is a multiple definition as well. So each of the character, including the space and these colon marks, is actually 1 byte, right? So how many of it is here?
20.
Let us count. Let us count. 1,
20, sir.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So we have 20 characters. So we have 20 characters. Each of the character is 1 byte. Okay, so that is one thing. The second thing is, comma, we have another number. It is an hexadecimal number. You can see that H, and we have 2 numbers. That means it requires another byte. So we have 20 bytes here, and we have another bytes here. So altogether it is 21. So if we add 21 here, what it will be?
64.
264. 264, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is the answer. And most of you make mistakes here. Many of you make mistake. You have just written this and no explanation.
So I'm not seeing the clone marks. So I count as 19 and I count as 120. So I mistaken the clone.
Oh, this column marks.
So I didn't see, sir. I'm doing 100%.
So please next time look closely and look clearly and read several times. I told you in the question, you have to read every single character. Every single character is important. Right? So please read next time carefully.
Okay, sir.
If you write 6 for it is not actually very, very large big mistakes, but that's why you cannot get 0. You can get some less marks, but whenever you do absolutely wrong, or whenever you just copy everything, or whenever you just write this one without having any explanation, then there is a problem.
Yes,
Okay, so please next time read the question carefully. It's clearly written that it explains your answer. So if you are confident enough to do this, what do you think how long it will take to just write this in the exam? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? 5 minutes? 5 minutes maximum?
Yes, sir.
So if you need 5 minutes to write this one and to do the calculation, and the rest of the 5 minutes or rest of the 2-3 minutes, you can write for the explanation. Because you have 5 questions, right? You have 5 questions, you have 60 minutes. Actually, you spend more than 60 minutes, all of you, but 60 minutes. So each of the question you have got 12 minutes. So if you just need 5 minutes to write this one, you can still have 7 minutes to write the explanation. I think it is quite enough time to write the explanation of this within 7 minutes. Simple calculation. The problem is you spend more time on writing question number 1 unnecessarily, although sometimes it was wrong, and you take more time to calculate this one by mistake, more time to do something else. So that's why most of the students didn't get enough time to do the question number 5. It is possible if you are prepared enough properly, and if you write it properly, it is quite possible to answer all the questions within the time. Anyway, so any question regarding question number 3?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right, fine. So let me just delete this one. Now question number 4, another common mistake. When I did have this this question, I actually almost know it after having the question. Actually, when I try to solve, because whenever I have the question, I need to solve myself as well. I have my solution. So when I do, I solve my solution. So when I did my solution, at that time I was thinking, after the exam already over. So I was thinking that, oh God, it is definitely students are making mistakes here. You are not making any mistake here. That is quite common, quite easy. But definitely you are going to make mistake whenever you try to delete this data, and this actually happens. All of you, 100% of you actually make mistakes here. 100% of you. None of you actually give me the right answer. Because, okay, let me show you from the book. Do we have time?
Sir, continue, sir.
Where is the book? All right. So in the stack, it is clearly written, chapter number 5. Let me show you. Mr. Chapter 5. Sometimes in the exam, you will have some question that you know the fact, but you might not have done it in the class, but you have already know, or you already know the fact. So you have to you have to use your common sense. You have to use your logic, because you cannot expect that like a school or college, okay, this is my textbook, this is the question I memorize, and this question will come and then I write the answer. This is not the university way. In the university, you learn something, you have that skill, and in the question, whenever you have the exam, you use your skill to answer that question. You cannot expect that you have the same similar question or the question pattern, whatever we have discussed. So in the stack, it is only in the stack operation. I actually understand it after we have done the exam, so there was no time. Look, push and pop. Push is not a problem. Look, there is an example. This is the example, right? Very simple. Simple example, we push a number, we push one word, we push a double word number, and then this is the push. Look at the pop. Executing the statement of pop, EBX, is clearly written, of this stack would result in the stack shown in figure. This one with the register EBX receiving this number. What is the size of this number? This size of the number is actually 32 bits, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
32 bits. What is the size of this register? 32 bits. That means whenever you delete any number, whenever you try to pop any number, whenever you write anything here, you actually should match here, right? Because whatever you write here, the processor will delete the number from the stack from the similar type of pattern and then store it here. That is the pop. Fine. Look at the question. It is asking a number to delete a, what is the number? 361B. What is the size of this number? 16 bit, right?
16 bit, sir.
16 bit. So whenever you write pop EAX, very similar, or ABX like this, do you think it will work here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
So what you should write?
AX.
Of course, correct. AX, because it is a 16-bit number. All of you write EBX. You actually don't think actually whenever you read it. It's clear. It's clear. A very simple example is given. Some of you have written the direct number, like pop the number. It is actually not allowed. It is allowed the immediate, because it is not immediate, it is registered. But here, immediate addressing mode, it is allowed in the push, because you are. It is also possible you can write push a register instead of write this number. You can write EX as well register. But in the pop, you have to receive that number into some register. You cannot just delete. You cannot just use the number itself here in the Pentium processor. Nowhere, no one, they're using any immediate addressing mode, that direct number here. You must have some register which is receiving the number in the pop. So if you write the pop, the number itself, that is also not allowed. Fine? Another common mistake, misunderstanding actually. It just because if you read just this one properly, this one paragraph, you will be able to write the answer properly this question. Simple is that. Just 2 or 3 lines from the book. I have, it is maybe I have forget to describe that much during the class because we didn't have time, we have so many issues and everything. But if you just read the book, we have discussed push and pop. But I have not discussed it that much deep, but it is written in the book. And I told you several times, please read the book, read the book. So that is actually the mistake of all of you. Hopefully you understand. It is already 2:10. We will discuss it more from here next time from tomorrow's class. So please remind me. Any question? Let me give you the attendance.